fit in. Cause you ain't never talking loud and you know plenty. You know what I'm talking about, cause you just. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you all here. So if you've watched the those are my friends, like they are the ones kayaking and I'm the only one sitting here. Me because I'm scared of water and I don't know how to swim. So that's something most of you don't know about me. I'm scared of water and I don't know how to swim. So I'm just here anyways, decided to make this video when my friends are kayaking and having a fun time. So if you've seen my previous video, I told you guys that I was going to make the video of my journey to Canada. Like I told you guys I was going to give you all the bits and all the fun facts and everything that led me to coming to Canada and my journey and process coming to Canada. Okay, and I know you've also seen from the introduction from the title of this video what this video is literally about. So now, without taking much time and without much ado, let's go straight into the video. Let me take you all back. Like, this is going to be a backstory. I'm guessing this video is going to be in part 1 and part 2 because it's going to be a long story time, okay? And I want you all to like pay attention and watch this video from the beginning to the end because I'm going to be giving you advice and tips that help me. Who knows, you also might be in that same situation, or you might want to also take that process I took, okay? So my desire to like travel out of the country when I was back home in Nigeria, it started in 2018. Yeah, in the year 2018, when Dubai was the rave of the time, like traveling to Dubai to work and all of that. So I was working back then, but my work wasn't paying me enough of what I felt that I needed and could sustain me and my family at the time. So I decided to trying to research how I could like travel to Dubai, get a job and all of that. So I had this old friend sort of I knew from way back when I was at Ibadan, and he had recently gone to Dubai. So I decided to reach out to him and I asked, how it was, how he did his process, how he paid, and like literally everything I needed to know so I myself could get prepared. And also wanted to know how much it took him, like how much I literally should be looking to set aside for this journey, okay? So he told me, he was like, Dubai is no longer what it used to be and all that. It's difficult for Nigerians to get a good job. He was like trying to advise me and stuff. I was like, okay. So I asked him how much was it then to, do the processing and everything. Remember I told you this was way back in 2018. So he told me I should hold like 250 to 300,000. I was like, okay, but I don't have that for now, but I'm going to work towards it. So right there and then I started like, working and saving. Like I literally saved up to that amount after some time. So when I had that amount, saved up to like for the whole Dubai process and stuff. So by the time it was no longer an ideal travel location for Nigerians because of the hate for Africans, especially Nigerians back then, and how difficult it was going to be to get a job. So I'm like, okay, I think I need like to have like to re-strategize. So I decided to like think of something else to do. Like I decided to think of another travel location that would favor me and favor my family, because I wouldn't be spending all that money I saved up to go to a country where I can't work and then I have to travel back home or have problems with immigration or something like that. So I'm like, okay, let me think of another place to go. So fast forward to 2019, I lost my mom, and after some time I started researching more on travel locations where I can go travel to and work, because at the time like after losing my mom I had more responsibilities on my shoulders. I've got younger siblings, a whole lot of things. Like I had to like plan for the future. I have to look at my younger siblings and like I don't want these kids to like go astray because of money situation and all that. So I stepped into that mommy shoes, to take care of my siblings. So I started researching more, and at the time a friend sent me a link. I don't know if I'm shouting, but I don't know, this waves is making me like speak louder, and I don't have a microphone yet. So yeah, so let's continue. So a friend sent me a link to Canada, a Canada link, like pathways to travel to Canada. So I started researching on that link. I was so interested in, in that link. I started researching day and night. Like, she only sent me the link. She didn't even know like the details of the whole stuff, how it works at all. She was like, please research about this and see if it's something you might be interested in. And this is me. I was already interested in traveling. You guys know I was already interested in traveling. I was like, okay, what other country destination? So that link she sent me was like an eye opener for me to like, okay, to know about Canada and its travel pathways. So this was 2019, remember? So I started researching. I googled. I went to the Canada website. I went to YouTube. I went to Google, like all the sites you can think of to gather information. I went there. I searched and searched. I researched. Like, I was waking up on Canada website. I was sleeping on Canada website. Like, that's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you're looking to travel, do not just rely on hearsay, what people say, what this person say. Make your own findings. Make your own findings. I started doing my findings way back from 2019, guys. I started doing my own findings. So, like I said, there are a whole lot of YouTubers I followed back then whose content were centered on Canada pathways and stuff. So I started researching, and if you're familiar with the Canada website, you know there is a place where you can like take a test sort of to know if you have the Canada based points. Canada have this point based stuff. I don't really know how to put it, but you have to have this sort of points to have a higher rank if you're going to go through the express entry. Even if not express entry, most of their pathways are point based. Like, there are some questions or some requirements you need to have that will boost your mark up. So back then in that 2019, I had to go to the website. I answered those questions, which was the test. So I answered those questions and I realized I don't have the cutoff points to be on the pool. So I started like I had to like put in more in myself, like getting more certifications, sort of things like that, to see if I can like go top on the rank. But no matter what I did, it wasn't adding up. So I like, okay, let me just rest. So but at this time I was still working and saving, because within me I still want to travel. Like, nothing was gonna deter me at this point. So in 2020, this was during lockdown. So I had this friend who had recently relocated to the UK. So I reached out to him, like we got talking and all. I'm like, oh, how did you get to the UK? How did you do it? And and all of that. I also would like to come to the no, I didn't say I would like to come to the UK. Like, we were talking and all. He was telling me how he did his process, how everything went, that it was a very fast process. So he encouraged me that I should also look into the UK. I was like, so how would I come? That I don't have what it takes and all of that. He said I can come through school. You get. So I'm like, okay, yeah, through school, because it was so convincing. And I see someone I know. I'm like, okay, he's there. So if it could work for him, it can also work for me. So I started, like I told you guys, I was already working and saving. I was still saving at this point, and this was in 2020. So he connected me with the agent who did his processing, and so we started looking for schools. Me and the agent, we started looking for schools. I started looking for cheaper schools that could fit into my budget. And schools in the UK were so expensive, or are still so expensive. So we started looking, and fortunately we found like various schools that were cheap. So I went for the cheapest ones of them, and the cheapest at then were like 15,000 euros. No, sorry, 15,000 pounds, because the UK uses pounds for their currency. Their currency is pounds. So the cheapest was 15,000 pounds. And I was like, oh, this is the cheapest of the schools from the agent then. So the mistake I did was I should have researched more cheaper schools by myself. I relied on the agent. So anyways, I submitted applications to many of these institutions, and most of them gave me offers. Okay, they gave me admissions, but then the issue was the funding, because after they've given you your admission, the conditional offer, you have to meet certain requirements, such as the funding part, to be able to be given the unconditional offer, which then you proceed to apply for your visa, right? So I applied to this school. I won't mention their name to avoid issues or anything. Sorry, after they had given me the conditional offer, so I had to make partial payment, the tuition partial payment, for them to give me the unconditional offer, right? So, and you all know how we do it back home here, you know, if you want to travel to studies and all of that. And remember, I was working with an agent as well. So I was waiting for, after they had given me the conditional offer, then I was required to pay £4,000 tuition deposit. That was a condition for them to give me my unconditional offer letter. So it was that unconditional offer letter I was meant to use in applying for my visa, right? My student visa. So I then paid the £4,000. I paid them the £4,000. I sent them the receipt. This is it. So they were supposed to give me the unconditional offer, which was my confirmation of acceptance of studies, right? After making the tuition deposits. So this school frustrated me. First month after payment, they didn't send me the CAS, which is the confirmation of acceptance of studies. They didn't send it. Second month, third month, I was contacting this school. The agent was contacting this school. I went to their representatives in Lagos at Ilupeju. Still nothing. So the response they gave me was, oh, because of so many influx of students they are doing it at a first come, first serve basis. So only those who have paid way ahead of me, they are the ones they are, you know, giving access to, or giving out the confirmation of acceptance of studies. So when you know this is the situation, why didn't you like put a cap on the number of students you can handle? Why asking students to pay you tuition fees? Anyway, so after I must have, you know, paid this this £4,000, I waited for 3 months, and you know, they were not forthcoming. Then the next response they sent me was I should pay another £4,000 so I can start my tuition from home, back home here in Nigeria. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I didn't pay that money to study back from my home country. If I was going to have an online course, I know different online sites to have, you know, to take online courses, which are not even as expensive as what I have spent and still going to spend, right? Because for me, it wasn't making any sense. Asking me to pay £8,000 to study from back home, like.
During the day, it was too windy because I was by the lake and the wind was so much. It was like drowning my voice. Like I literally had to like keep shouting to, you know, make the video more audible because I don't have my microphone yet. So I just decided, I figured it would be best if I just made the video indoors since outside was a little bit noisy from the wind. So I'm back home and I decided to like continue the video from where we stopped or where we left off. So as I was saying, after I had paid the tuition fee to the school, you know, after the £4,000 I sent to them, and they didn't give me my confirmation of acceptance of studies, which is the CAS. That's literally the documents they were to send me, which was the unconditional letter I was meant to receive. Remember, I had already paid £4,000, and the next thing after paying the £4,000 was they sending me my confirmation of acceptance of studies. But I waited for the first month after making my initial payment of £4,000. First month, second month, third month, they were not sending my confirmation of studies. I was livid. I was worried. Like, talk about all the feelings. I was like, is this school a scam? So, but what I didn't know at that point was most of these agents, they have affiliations with schools in the UK to bring students for them. And I guess these agents, they have a sort of bonus from the schools, like a payment or something, I don't know. So that was the initial mistake I made. Like I mentioned, I should have just scouted for very cheaper schools on my own and not having to rely on the school the agent, you know, brought to me as the cheapest school. So that was the mistake I made. So some of you who are going to study either in Canada or in the UK or in the US, anywhere, in as much as you're working with your agents to scout for schools, you also want to scout for schools yourself, because some of these agents have affiliations with these schools and they get sort of bonus cut pays from these institutions like the more students you bring for us, the more we are going to pay you. Like these agents in Nigeria, they are sort of advocates for this international schools. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was what I experienced in my own case. So after waiting for 3 months and the school wasn't sending forth the confirmation of acceptance of studies, the tuition, the resumption date I was meant to resume has already commenced. I was worried, and then I kept, you know, bombing the agent. I kept bombing the agents with emails and calls and everything. And you know, the agent was telling me, oh yeah, she's also reaching out to the school, blah blah blah, and you all need to be careful about the agencies you work with. I will not lie, I mean, I'm not going to mention that agency's name, but I'm going to say I wasn't comfortable with the agent because at the point she insulted me indirectly on top of my money and everything. Like, you want to work with an agent that is kind, like that is very, very kind and nice and understand your plight, but this very agent I worked with was not it. I'm so grateful, like I didn't like have to continue everything with her. So let's continue back to the gist. What is this? Anyway, so after waiting for the 3 months and the school, you know, wasn't saying anything, I had to like find out that they have a branch or an office at Lagos in Ibeju. So I decided to go there. When I got there, they told me, oh, a lot of students are also applied, that they have a lot of influx of international students, and they are, you know, they are attending to the students on first come first serve basis. Like, so that means those who paid like far ahead of me, like were the ones they were attending to. Like, this is like 3 months past payment to. This is 3 months after I've made initial deposits, 3 months after, and the program has started. So they now told me I should pay. No, this was after I've had gone to their office. So those ones were like, they will answer you, they will answer you. That was the number they were giving me that time. I went back again after like 2 weeks. I emailed the school again. Then the school told me I should make another £4,000 deposits, making it a total of 8. That then they can send me my student login details and blah blah blah, so I can start with the next intake. So I can start with the next session from my home country before my visa process and everything comes out. Like, they wanted me to pay £8,000 in total and be studying from Nigeria at home. After how many months? I waited 3 months for the first £4,000 I paid. So how many months again will I wait for? So I was, at this point, I was so pissed. I was devastated. I was like, hey God, these people are scammers. Like, my precious money I saved all my life. Like, how will these people like want to eat my money and go scot-free like that? I was so livid. So what I emailed them, I said, I'm sorry, I didn't pay all this money to study from my home country. That if I wanted an online course, I would have sought for a cheaper online school. You know, I would have searched different websites and looked for a cheaper online school to register in an online program. That I am not doing that, and for that reason, I am sorry, I can't proceed with these studies in your establishment, in your school. I told them that I'm no longer interested in studying in their school, that they should refund me. Then they emailed me back that, okay, if I've decided to, like, you know, not proceeding anymore, it's going to take 3 months for them to process my my refund, and then I have to submit this, I have to submit that. You not consign me. She didn't have my money, they talk. Anyways, I had to do all the processing they asked me to do, and they said I was going to hear back from them in 3 months when they're going to refund me. I waited patiently for the 3 months. 3 months came. So after 3 months, these people refunded me. Like, they didn't refund me. They didn't even refund me in pounds. They like refunded me in the currency I paid, which was naira. And they didn't even say they should refund me the exact amount I paid. For where, they had to like slash the money for me, like butcher the money for me. They sent me, will I say 1/3? I mean, will I say half of the amount I paid in naira? That's what they refunded back to me. Then they now put a note saying, as at the time this payment was made, this was the exchange rates. Hey, I could not cry. Like, I could not cry. I was so heartbroken. I had lost a lot of money, and you all know what it means. Like, planning studies abroad from Nigeria or from any African country, and you're like struggling, how you need to sort a whole lot of things. Like I had done all that in preparation for my visa application. All those money inside gutter. I lost everything. I lost a huge sum of money. Like I don't even want to start talking, like remembering how much I lost, because it's an experience. Anyways, after that audio, I was so heartbroken. Like I cried, I was depressed. I'm like that I've been saving money since 2018. This is 2021 and 2021/2022. Yeah, imagine saving money for like 4 years. All those money, millions, everything just went down the drain like that. So in my head, I felt so sad. I felt so angry. So this is where I'm gonna tell you guys, if you have made plans to travel and you have a particular country destination in mind, and someone comes to convince you and sway you, oh, why don't you try this? My brother, my sister, I will tell you, it is best to stick to your instincts, to stick to your guts, like that place your mind already wanted you to go to, that you're already like fixated on. Don't because, oh, everyone is going here, oh, I know this person that is going to this country, oh, I want to go to this place. Do not, because it might not work for you. That was my case. You all remember I said after the whole Dubai stuff, Canada was the country like I had put my mind on. I was researching and everything, but because I know someone who went to the UK, he convinced me, he linked me with his agent and all of that, you see. So you see where all this, like, you see how it all went down. So that's what I'm going to tell you. Before you do anything, go with your gut feeling. Don't because, oh, I know this person, oh, this person has gone here. Yeah, I know we all want authenticity. We all want to be sure what we are doing, and sometimes to be sure what we are doing, we prefer, oh, we know someone who has taken that route and this person was successful in it. Like it sort of gives us that assurance, that confidence that this is going to work. But sometimes it's not always the case. So anyways, let's continue. So after that whole audio, I had the money they sent me in my account. And by this time, I had a business. Like I had a business. I don't know if you all have seen my video. I uploaded a few years back, 2 years ago or last year, I don't know, I can't remember. But I uploaded a video of my shop, like when I was in Lagos. I had a business then. So at this time as well, part of the money proceeds from my business was what I invested in this my travel process. So at this point, my shop was running dry. My account was dry, so I was in between this money they sent to me now. It wasn't much anymore, but I was contemplating, what do I do with it? Do I invest this money into my business, or do I still look for another school or another country? Like I was just confused. I was just confused at this point. So I was just crying, I was praying, I was depressed. And all this while, most people didn't know I was doing all of these things. Like I kept it private. So after like few months, someone I know as well, he and his family relocated to the UK. In fact, I was surprised they relocated to the UK. So I started talking to the husband, I telling him my ordeal, what I've experienced in trying to go to the UK and stuff. And then he now told me, it's not easy, that, okay, this has happened. What is my plan? I said, I don't know for now, but anything, like, I think I'm open to any suggestions from him or advice. So after like 2 or 3 weeks, he now sent me a link to a school in Canada. Okay, so a week later, that same friend I had in the UK that sort of convinced me to apply for UK schools, what had like encouraged me to apply for UK schools, he also sent me the same link that this other person in the UK sent me. So I have 2 people sending me the same link to a particular school in Canada, and I'm like, God, is this a sign for me to go back to where I originally, had my heart in? Like, where my heart was after I abandoned it. Like I jilted my original plan, and now I was like, God, is this a sign? But I'm scared of applying to school again, because I don't know what will happen this time. And this money I have, like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to lose it anymore, because I don't know what will happen if I lose this money. So I just like left it. Like I opened the link and I saw it with the school and stuff. I just left it. So I left it for like 1 month. I didn't do anything. Just like, God, I was praying at that time. I was like, God, just direct me. So this particular family friend, this friend I told you that he and his family relocated to the kid that sent me the link, he now told me that I should just, have I applied? I said no. He said he understands that my worries, that what I'll do is, since I don't need money to apply, that I should just apply. I don't need to pay application fee to like apply for now. That I should just apply, put my mind away. I should just do my part and, you know, take my mind off it. I said, okay. So that was what I did. I emailed the school. I went to the site. I went to the school website, read everything about them. So I started going to Google to get more added information about the school. I went to Facebook. I went to everywhere, but I wasn't finding much concrete stuff that I needed about this school. I was worried, hey God, is this school not scam again like this? So after a while, I said, well, let me apply. I applied. I emailed the school. You know, they now responded. They responded in the next day. I'm like, hey, this school that responded the next day like this. Actually, these people are not scammers. I said, okay, now let's continue seeing. So I, after emailing them, the next day they responded, you know, sent me the list of documents that I needed to submit to them and all. So by this time, remember, I already had my transcripts from the whole UK brouhaha. So I already had my transcripts. I sent them my transcripts. I did most of the things they wanted me to do. And lo and behold, less than a week, they gave me offer letter. No, did they give me offer letter? No, they booked me for an interview. Yes, I was booked for an interview. Less than a week. So I did the interview. I was surprised. I passed the interview. The next thing they tell me, you passed the interview and we are happy. Congratulations, you'll be given an offer to study in so college. I'm like, yeah? Say, okay, another offer letter. I said, no wahala. So I accepted the offer letter, you know, and to proceed to the next stage, which was for me to get my unconditional offer letter, because what they gave me was conditional. So to proceed to the unconditional offer letter, I had to pay $1,000. I said this $1,000 is not as much as the £4,000 I paid, though, but if I pay this money and nothing comes out of it, it will be too bad for me. So at that point, I just like stopped. When I hear $1,000, I don't even want to start them again. I left school I left the whole process for another 1 month. That is how my trust issues is. Like, once I've had a huge disappointment like this, it takes a while for me to like build up trust again. So I left it for like a month, 2 months, 3 months. What am I saying? I left it for like 3 months. The intake I even applied for don't pass. Another one don't pass on top. So after 3 months, I was like, hey, this is not waiting like this. Why not just do it? And I prayed. I said, God, you see how much I'm trying. Like, I'm trying earnestly to do something for myself that will benefit me and my family. Like, I am not even doing anything wrong. Oh, this is just me trying to make a way for myself. Please help your daughter. Help your poor daughter. So after like 3 months, like I said, so I consulted with another agent through that friend I told you that has a family that went to the UK. You know, the person that like being in communication with me, advising me and everything. So he also directed me to an agent that, you know, that does visa processing for especially people going to the UK and Canada. So I'm like, hey, another agent. I'm like, okay, well, let me follow this one because it seems this one is from home. Let me go ahead with this one. So after you like consulting with the agent, you know, he told me how much I needed, things I needed to proceed, you know, after paying the 1,000. Like, when I considered everything, the money was too much. It was too much, and I was like, God, why is it so expensive to travel? Like, what will a poor man do? Anyway, so before this whole alongside paying the 1,000 application fee, you know, to give me my unconditional offer letter, the school also advised that we consulted with, I don't know if you guys are seeing me, the school also advised that we consulted with an immigration officer here in Canada. You know, I was back home then, and the charges then was $150. Okay, so in my head I'm like, this is 1,000. $150 I have to pay, because they were like, it's compulsory we consult with an immigration consultant so that they would like guide us on how to apply for our visa and stuff to, you know, have a good success rate. I'm like, okay, well. So after much, you know, much deliberation, thoughts and everything, I decided to like, well, let me give it a shot. So I contacted the school. I paid them the $1,000. I paid them through Flywire then, because that was the fastest and easiest way for me to pay. Though it was more expensive, but I paid through Flywire, because no, I put it from A then, and from A for like 3 weeks it was still pending. I had not even proceeded up, and I just deleted the stuff from A. I had to use Flywire. Flywire was more expensive then, but I had to do it for fast process. So after paying for Flywire, the school sent me, after like 2 days, the school confirmed my payments and sent me my unconditional offer letter, which I can then proceed to apply for visa. So then, you know, I also mentioned that they said I have to like consult with an immigration consultant, which they, you know, give us the details of the immigration consultant. I ensured I booked an appointment with that consultant. So it was for 1 hour. That $150 was for 1 hour. So I ensured I asked him so many questions. Like I asked him everything. I made sure I utilized my 1 hour. You see that $150? Hey, it was a lot for me then. So I made sure I utilized it. I consulted with him. He told me everything I needed to do, everything I, you know, should avoid. I should be honest, like I should be plain in my application, because there is no interview. So it's whatever documents I submit that they will base their decisions on. So after I've done that with the immigration consultant from Canada, I decided to proceed with my Nigerian agents as well. So, you know, during this process, I had already gotten my confirmation of studies, you know, to apply for visa from the school. So I had to gather every other necessary document I needed to like apply for the visa. And the agent I was also working with, you know, after like, this was after like 6 months later, after initially contacting the school, 6 months later, I decided to like apply for my visa. So, but during that process, in gathering documents and everything, I used the advice I got from the immigration consultant, because those are the ones that are here already. They are the real Canadian. So I like followed everything. When my agent was like, no, you don't need this one, I said, yes, let us add this thing, that I don't want to leave any documents aside.